I guess I'm an opportunist. And in 1964, a friend of mine whose dad was a carpenter said, let's build a house. I think we can make some money if we build a house. So, you know, sounded like a great idea to me. I'm kind of an entrepreneur type guy. So I said, okay, let's do that. And man, I knew nothing about that. I mean, I didn't know which end of a hammer you held. But I learned what it was about to build homes, and then went off into lots of other things. We gathered up a lot of real estate that became valuable. It was a time of high inflation, and real estate made a lot of sense, and leverage in real estate made a lot of sense. You know, by 1991, I would have had $3.5 million in the bank, free and clear, owed no taxes. My home would have been free and clear. About a $15,000 a month income that looked like for the rest of my life. And I thought, man, there'll never be another poor day. But the Lord had other plans. It all went away. I mean, almost overnight.
I think it was in that moment that he realized that he had been using all of the wealth and the gifts that God had given him just for earthly riches and earthly pleasures. And he didn't really understand what it meant to give that back to God.
I grew up, you know, going to work with him, and I had business in my blood from the early days, real estate business, in fact, specifically. I left the software business to build homes. I got excited about building homes.
In 1991, I called Rick and said, hey man, I got to do something different. You know, I'm starving to death out here. Every deal that I've had got right to the door, nothing happened, just no success. He had in the meantime gone to work for a fellow who was the expert at building inexpensive housing. So Rick said, why don't you come back and join me in this business? And I did.
He and Rick joined, and they changed the name of the company, and it became Betenbough Homes.
And then I came back to this, what are we going to do if we make some money? And all my life I had been thinking about that proposition, and giving it away is the thing to do. And Rick bought that premise, and here we go. We sold 16 homes that first year, closed 11, 53 the next, and 93 I think the next, and it just took off like a shot.
We were thrilled with every single home sale. It was a big deal, and it took a while for Ron to pay back all of the debt that he owed, but once he did, we were at Thanksgiving at his home, and he brought the Bible out, and he said, you know what, I really missed it the first time around, and I don't want to miss it this time. If God continues to bless this, I want us to honor him with the profits from this.
And we formed the foundation in '98, and that was our first serious formal beginnings.
We just said, God, we don't know what we're doing, but we want to honor you. So lead us to things that people are doing that is delighting your heart.
This is our home here in Langada, and they're all called Grace Children's Centers. One building is for HIV positive, and the others are for the healthy kids. I just want to say thank you to Betenbough, because you guys have blessed us. If you've seen the home, and I know we've sent pictures in this team that's here now. If it hadn't been for y'all, we wouldn't have completed this project.
Through that whole process, he began to teach us to look for the things in our hearts that would break for whatever we saw out there. In other words, it's like a burden that he has in his heart, but he gave it to us too.
So we had this foundation that was essentially a tax-free entity that we were making these gifts out of.
That was a separate 501c3 that was set up, that was governed by the elders of our church. And we had a team of people helping us steward those resources that were completely outside of our company. So in those early years, our company was one entity and our ministry was another.
You know, really, this was just a home builder like any other home builder. It was a good company to work for. I wouldn't say it was a great company to work for. They were giving profits away, and I knew that. I knew they were giving profits to honor God with that. But really, when you got down into our business, there wasn't much different about our business than the next business.
We didn't know, we weren't strong enough in our faith at the time to understand that you don't compartmentalize your life. So it was a whole process for us to learn that.
The first thing that came to us was, we got to share the company with these employees, and they need to be part of the process of whatever ministry we do here.
I only own 10% interest in this company. We have given the rest of the company away to the other people who work here. And that's a blessing about how that works with, if you're an owner, you feel differently about everything that you see and everything that you do and everybody that you touch.
Then we started thinking about, we've got an outside board. Let's do this inside. These are company profits. Let's bring it, right into the front door and make it part of what we do every day. And the ministry council internally was born. And
our board of directors at the time of our company became the board of the ministry as well, it was funny how God would use a bunch of ordinary people like that to do that kind of stuff. And
wow, that's a powerful thing. They know what the company and the sweat of their labor is doing. They're owners. This is their profits.
as we opened that portal from business to ministry and would give profits to these ministries, when we opened that portal, it seemed like it was a two-way street, and the ministry started flowing back into our business as well. And what began to happen is our business began to transform, the people in it. You just couldn't get away from it. One by one, God started getting hold of the people that were inside our walls and transforming their hearts and giving them passions for the kingdom. And
we realized at that moment that the external ministry and the external giving of the profits of the company was only a small part of the true ministry God had given us here. The Bible tells us that we are all called to be ministers. We each get to be a part of it, regardless of what our gifts are. I don't have the gift of teaching. I don't have the gift of evangelism. I don't have those gifts, but I can be a part of His work right here in a home building company. And that's incredible to me. It's just only Him.
Full-time ministry is right here in the marketplace. Everybody has to go to work. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to go to small groups, but you do have to go to work. All of us have to work to make a living, and the marketplace is where you spend most of your time.
So many people come in and out of this place. You have an opportunity to touch just literally thousands. Not just homeowners, not just employees, not just owners of the company, but trade partners, suppliers. The chain just goes on and on and on. So I think the real revelation in this was that mindset change. Hey, we can really impact a lot of people here if we change our focus to what Jesus would have us to do.
If you want to really reach your people, rather than just use them to leverage an outcome, you got to make that you got to resource that. You got to make that a priority. You got to get out of your own way.
It was at that point that we hired someone on our ministry team to focus internally on all the families here. And we started celebrating anniversaries and birthdays and having baby showers and graduation parties and employee appreciation dinners and family picnics and concerts in the prayer garden, and just really getting to know the people that we work with.
My job is to focus on the employees. And so I do things to help them grow professionally, personally, and spiritually. Well, one of my major roles here is to plan mission trips for employees and their whole families. We plan a couple mission trips every year, and the neat thing is that we tie it in with Christian organizations that we give to financially as well.
We got to go to Africa 2 summers ago for 10 days. You do get a personal feel for the fruit, for the bigger purpose of what you're doing, because you've seen it. You know, you've seen the little kids that live in an orphanage, you know, who've never known their parents. And
We sponsored a ministry in Brazil and actually had the opportunity to take my family on a mission trip. But we went from village to village. My wife is a nurse, and she had the opportunity to be able to give back a little bit in using her nursing degree that God's blessed her with to be able to contribute with shots and just, you know, everyday stuff. It was just really, just really a wonderful, wonderful trip to be able to take my family on.
Wherever they go, they leave part of their heart there, and they do that as a family. Going as a family, they really get to experience that together, and they never come back the same. Also, watching everybody around you grow closer together, just through sharing their lives and their what their struggles are, has been really, it's just like a family, and we pray together, and we live together, and we laugh together.
From dances to barbecues to the lunches to the mission trips, take every single opportunity to celebrate.
Maybe throw them a baby shower. When they're hurting, stop, sit down and have a cup of coffee with them and ask them what's going on and let them tell you their story.
I think that's the main difference, is just saying, we care about you, you know, and we care about you more than just as an employee. We care about you as a person. We care about your family, your growth, who you are, and it makes a huge difference.
It's just praying that God opens your eyes to the people around you. He's let you know they're in a desert. This is a dry and weary land. This is a desert. Psalm 84 calls it the valley of Baca. It's the valley of tears, the valley of death. They're desert dwellers. It's tough. Life is tough. It's hard out here. People are dying. People are hurting. People are hurting each other. It's a tough place to live. And the marketplace is really tough. What would you do in a desert? If somebody walked up in the desert and they're parched and they're thirsty, what would you do? You'd give them a drink. It's that simple.
I believe we're an oasis. He is allowing us to be that oasis. And when people come in, they want a drink. They want to know, whether they know it or not, they want to experience God.
I hope in the end that when they do leave, they leave better than what they came here. That's our goal.
Just take the first step. Commit your relationship in the marketplace to Christ. You know, God wants me to have a personal relationship with Him every day.
People may feel called but ill-equipped. Maybe that's exactly what God wants, is for them to feel the weight of the call, but also feel totally, completely incapable of doing it.
Not I that live, but Christ that lives in me. And it's Christ living in us that they have the opportunity to see.
That this was a vision of God Himself to use ordinary people to do His work. So this is simply a witness to what we have seen, what we've experienced right out here in the marketplace, and what we know God has planned for all who believe.
We plant the seeds. God gives the increase. So it worked 2,000 years ago and it still works today.
God's fingerprints are all over it.